Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, April 12th, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald. On Friday of last week, detectives from the Norwood Police Department were wrapping up a warrant for an investigation into the illegal sale of marijuana. The search warrant was executed at the residence of 46 Geraldine Drive.
This case all began with information that the subject who was living there had been selling marijuana. And so after following an investigation by our detectives, they obtained a search warrant and they executed the search warrant on Friday afternoon. They made a safe and peaceful entry. The gentleman who was the subject of the investigation, Andrew Ariglio, who was 29 years old, he was a resident of the home. And we found what we expected to find, which was marijuana and evidence of marijuana distribution that was inside the home, and that was seized. He also had some presses that led us to believe that he may have been trying to extract THC from the marijuana. We also found during the search some firearms, and some of those firearms appeared to have originally been firearms, but have been converted into firearms using kits.
Thanks, Chief, and great work by everyone involved in this investigation. Last Friday night, the Norwood Circle of Hope hosted their biggest fundraiser of the year, Dancing with the Norwood Stars. This year's contestants were Kathy Curran, Jen Murphy-Conley, Mark Saulnier, Tom Follin, our own Brian Boudreau, and Michelle Sheehan. Catherine Curran and Jen Murphy-Conley tied for this year's Judges Award. The fundraising award, which is given to the dancer who raised the most money for the Circle of Hope, went to Michelle Sheehan. We were able to catch up with Michelle after the event.
It feels awesome. It feels like it is something that, something I never really ever imagined. It was a perfect time. My father loves this town. He was a staple in this community. Everyone knew him, everyone loved him, and I originally signed up because of him, and now to win, it means so much, so I'm really, really grateful.
None of this would have been possible without the support each dancer received from their friends and family. And a big thank you to everyone who donated to the Circle of Hope throughout the process. Stay tuned after this break to see who came back to visit Norwood High School and for this week's Living Local. Welcome back. Monday afternoon, Matt Brown, NHS alum and author of Line Change, returned to Norwood High School to speak to students about his life and living with paralysis. Brown delivered a powerful message of his never quit attitude and trying to stay positive through hard times. For Brown, this speaking experience was something special.
It meant everything, coming back to Norwood High and speaking to student body about facing adversity, dealing with change and challenges. Because, like I said, it wasn't that long ago that we roamed the halls here. So it really meant a lot. Hopefully some of the kids took the messages. But this is going to be something I'll remember for a long, long time.
Thanks, Matt. You are truly an inspiration. The Norwood Space Center hosts no shortage of creative and artistic talents. Emma Davidson is an artist that uses her travel experience to inspire her craft. Here she is in her own words in this week's Living Local.
I'm a fine artist, illustrator, printmaker. I come here every day to create and just make beautiful things for the world.
Emma Davidson is one of many independent artists you can find here at the Space Center on 83 Morse Street in Norwood. Her work consists of collections drawn from inspiration of travel and the outdoors.
I lived in Juneau, Alaska for a year, and that was really exciting. I was there for work, and I feel like after leaving there, I just have endless amounts of inspiration. So I really enjoy being in the outdoors. It was a big part of how I grew up, and it definitely is a big part of my adult life. I love the Pacific Northwest and just hanging out in the woods there. Any time spent amongst the trees or the mountains is never lost time for me.
Welcome back to Norwood News. Saturday, April 6th was a joint meeting between the Board of Selectmen, the School Committee, and the Finance Commission in the Police and Fire Community Room. Town Manager Tony Mizuko walked the three committees through a draft of town-wide financial policies, as well as the drafted Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, in the event of an operational override passing via town vote. One topic that was disputed amongst the committees was the maximum 3.5% budget increase implications. School Committee member Teresa Stewart voices her concerns.
If you look at the data and you look at the trends, it's increasing. So does this sound great today? Yeah. Can I promise it's going to be this next year or the year after or the next 5 years when I may not even be on the school committee? Because this is a MOU we're putting in place for a while. I can't promise that. And I need this town to understand it is not okay to continuously sacrifice our students.
Welcome back. Now we're going to toss it over to our good friend Tim Rose, who is going to fill us in on all the news around the school district.
Hi guys, I'm Tim Rose, and let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. The Cleveland School participated in the Kids Heart Challenge. This is designed to educate students about heart health and to help raise funds in support of the American Heart Association. In Norwood High School news, Wednesday was Student Government Day. For more on this, let's go to the community room at the police fire station.
I can definitely say that I learned a lot about the general manager position. I learned that they are like the de facto mayor of the town and that they are in charge of managing the town. They're in charge of making sure the town runs smoothly, that the town is running as effectively as possible.
Now let's send it over to Brian Dunn with the latest sports news.
Thanks, Tim. Hello, everybody, and welcome into the sports update for this week. It's been a busy week in the sports world, and teams are getting familiar with their new Tri-Valley League spring opponents. Let's take you around the league and find out what went down in sports. We start off in the gym where the volleyball team had a non-league matchup against the Randolph Blue Devils. A competitive Norwood team got some great looks on the defensive side, but a powerful front presence by Randolph was too much to overcome, as the Mustangs fall to Randolph in straight sets. Over on the turf, the girls lacrosse team ran into a very strong Holliston Panthers program. The Mustangs struggled to maintain offense, but stayed aggressive on the attack nonetheless, as you can see here. The Mustangs lose to Holliston, but look to bounce back at another TVL matchup against Ashland this week. Softball opened up their season this week against the Medfield Warriors. One element the Mustangs have perfected over the years is base running, and it was on full display in this matchup. The opening run for the Mustangs was a result of good base running, and Norwood used that momentum to propel to a 10-5 opening day victory over Medfield.
Moving to a new town can be a stressful task. The Norwood Memorial Library understands this, and every year the library hosts Norwood 101, a night for residents who made the move to Norwood within the past year and are looking to find out what resources are available in town.
This is our third annual Norwood 101, which is an absolutely wonderful event when we gather all the town officials and the town departments, all the nonprofits, all of our library staff departments, and we invite all of the people who have moved to Norwood within the last year. And it's just a terrific event, and people love learning more about everything that they don't really get to know in their new home.
Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.